Hey guys, Pam here with Crafthow, and I've got another DIY on demand silhouette tutorial for you guys. This is going to be a short series. I'm not sure exactly how many videos, I've got 3 so far. Just teaching you guys some basic techniques on how to create shapes. So we're learning how to design from scratch, and we're going to start with this very simple pine tree here. And I basically want to teach you guys how to look at something or decide you want to create something and break it down into squares, circles, rectangles, because that's really all these shapes are when it all comes down to it. So Silhouette has a lot of basic shapes built in: rectangles, circles, polygons. There isn't already a triangle, so I'm going to show you guys 2 different ways to do that now. So the first way is with a square, and you can hold shift and draw a square, and in your transform window you can rotate it by 45 degrees. Grab your knife tool, hold shift to cut a straight line, and then cut that square in half, and then you've got a triangle. Another way that you can do it is when you have your grid lines on. Let me make them a little darker so you can see them. You can use this draw polygon tool, and using your grid lines you can create your own triangle shapes, and if you hold shift it'll automatically do that as well. It'll give you a clean diagonal, but I want something a little narrower here, so I'm going to do that. Hold shift straight across, click my point, and then join it up there. I'm going to turn my grid lines off. So those are 2 different ways that you can build a triangle. When you build it by yourself, it's a little more flexible. When you cut it, it doesn't generally warp or resize as well, so it just depends on what you're looking for. So we're going to go with this one that we built here, and this pine tree looks like it's basically just a couple of triangles and a trunk for the stem of the tree. The trunk of the tree, we're just going to use a rectangle, so that's going to be our trunk here. And now we get to actually build our pine tree. So we can make it so that our base layer is kind of wide and skinny if we want to. If we hold Alt, we'll pull another copy up, and we can decide how we want that to look. This one we can make it a little bit skinnier and a little taller maybe. Same thing, hold Alt, drag up our next layer, a little narrower, or this will give us a wider branch. A little skinnier there, and then Alt again, and then this one we'll just make even with that top there. So a little funky, kind of oddly shaped, but this is more for demonstration purposes, just to show you guys that you really can design it however you want. And so we have this weird funky tree outline here. I'm actually going to widen the whole thing, highlight all of that, center it, and then weld it, and then that gives us a really oddly shaped pine tree. So let's say that we've created this and we don't really like it and we want to edit it some more. Well, we don't have to start over. We've created this design and it is editable, so we can go in here and point edit. So if we want to change that line, maybe smooth him out a little bit, and then from here we'll delete a few of these points so that we only have one at the top here. Make it a little narrower, or we can even come in with our knife tool and cut it off. So we can do that, delete that, take our knife tool here, delete that, and so we can really continue to customize this shape however we want it. If we want a wider stem, a wider trunk, we can do that as well. Just make a little bit bigger and then weld them together. Super easy. So this gives you guys some of the basic techniques just to get started playing around with shapes. Start looking at things a little bit differently and say, oh, is that a square shape base? Is that a heart shape base? Lots of different ways that we can start creating our own items. So this is just the basic tutorial, this is step 1. I've got a few more that get slightly more complicated each time, and I may add a few more to the series later, so keep an eye on my channel for more information. If you need to reach me, you can get me on Facebook, facebook.com/crafthow, and I'm in about a half a dozen different silhouette groups where I'm always happy to help. Have a great day, guys!